roadmap. So Hazem is the founder, like I said, of Master VDC, where he offers these services, engineering, project management, BIM technology, and engineering courses to support newcomers and anyone who wants to in the Canadian market. So welcome, Hazem. Thank you for this webinar. And let's begin.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Lula. Thanks, Fan. Thanks for the whole team who gave me that opportunity to introduce myself and to introduce my company, and also the roadmap for becoming a professional engineer in Canada. So thanks everyone again for joining. And now, as I mentioned, that we are gonna record this lecture or this presentation, and I hope that you can find it as you expect and more. So as Lula mentioned, I think she did like a very good introduction. Thank you, Lula. Like a very few tips, like this is my LinkedIn profile. You can scan it. You can have my account, and I'll be happy to accept your connection. As Lula mentioned, that I got my P.Eng license about 5 years ago, and I have my master's degree in construction management. And my background is civil engineering, and I have also some international certificates in Canada, like management and cost engineering. And I also worked before in the nuclear industry in Bruce Power. And before that, I was working in Ellisdon in a big project in Toronto. Before that, I was working for about also another 4 years in Parsons in Saudi Arabia. I worked also for different other countries like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and Egypt as well. So let's move on here by the current position. Like, I'm a founder of a company called Master VDC. You know, my VDC stands for Virtual Design and Construction. So we do design services like mechanical, electrical, civil, structural designs, project management, whether it's project controls, cost planning, cost estimation, risk analysis, claims. Also, we cannot forget the advancement all over the world for BIM technology. So we do also BIM technology or BIM modeling, starting from 3D, 4D, up to 7D. In also both like design stages and also construction stages. Another line of business, which is the engineering courses, we support and we help international engineers to get their professional engineering license in Canada. So starting from the application submission, preparation courses for the technical exams and the NPP, and also at the end with the submission of the experience as well. That's not only for Ontario, it's different provinces, like with Ontario and all the provinces in Canada, and also different disciplines, mechanical, electrical, civil, structure, mechanical, software engineering, all these disciplines we can support with. So these are some of our projects that we did before in Europe and the Middle East and Canada as well, in different aspects. We have here today our agenda. So today we are going to talk about like the roadmap for the profession to get your professional engineering license in Canada. So first of all, like we're going to ask a question like why people want to get their professional engineering license. And we're going to have a brief about the roadmap, the application submission requirements, and the step or the milestone, the big milestone for the academic assessment. And also we're going to talk about the ethics and law exam, which is the NPP exam. And we're going to talk also about the experience writing, and we'll give some tips regarding the job search in Canada, like based on my experience before. And at the end, we'll be opening the floor for any question if you like. So anyone like what do you think like why you might need to have your professional engineering license in Canada? Anyone has any thoughts?
So before anybody answers, Hazim, let's use the hand raising technology so that we are in line with how companies work and how they answer questions in a webinar like this. So let's try and be mindful of the way we work in the workforce or the workplace. What do you think?
Yeah, that's
So,
good. Like,
so
yeah.
who wants to answer, raise your hand. There's in the three buttons, the more you can raise your hand or in the reactions, you can raise your hand and Hazim will pick who will respond.
Sure.
Did
Yeah,
I
Sahar, go ahead.
did I scare you?
No, yeah, I think Sahar now she raised her hand. So Sahar, go ahead, please.
Hi, first, thank you for the presentation. I think having a P.Eng stamp is very important to kind of get hired in corporate and be able to stamp your own projects instead of always being a designer, at least from a structural point of view.
So let me tell you something. Like there is maybe a legal point of view, like you to be and to call yourself as an engineer here in Canada, you must have the professional engineering license. So you cannot write down in your resume or your LinkedIn profile that you are like a mechanical engineer, civil engineer, whatever it is. You cannot call yourself like that. So and it will be very like suspicious for the recruiter, like how we are a newcomer and you got your professional engineering license. So it will be questionable. So to get your license, you will be allowed to uh, stamp documents, for example, let's say engineering reports, drawings, whatever it is. So this is a legal point of view. So all the drawings here in Canada have to be signed and stamped by a professional engineers. So this is the legal point of view. The other reason what I see actually with many people, they want to have more opportunities in the market, so they need to have a Canadian reference. And remember this, like remember that word Canadian reference was because we are gonna talk about it also later. So P.Eng is a Canadian reference. Like in America, it's called PE. It's also professional engineer, but in Canada, it's P.Eng. So the thing here, when you have your professional engineering license, I had many applicants before. They were very like they want to finish it like as soon as possible. So the question here, like, why do you want to like get your license like as soon as possible like that? So the answer, some of the answers were like, I'm gonna get promoted when I got my professional engineering license. Other answers related to the opportunities, like they are looking for a job and they found that many opportunities require to have the professional engineering license. And you cannot even start your application before giving your professional engineering license number. So this is also another reason. Another thing, when you look at the governmental projects and even in the biddings or tenders in all over Canada, and if they are looking for like project managers or something or engineering manager, so they must ask or always, let's say, most of the time they ask for professional engineering license. So it's really a good point to have it in order to increase your opportunities in the market. And by the way, there is another one, like one applicant, I think maybe 2 days ago, he called me and he mentioned that he wanted to finish it also quickly. So again, I asked the same question. He told me that he's applying for, he has a work permit and he is applying for the permanent residency, and he will be getting more points when he get the license as well. So it helps that way as well. So for the roadmap, we have here like two main paths. The first one is for engineers who have been graduated from accredited universities. Accredited universities means here the CEAB. So CEAB means Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board. So some programs in the universities, they are accredited by CEAB. And most of the programs, they are not accredited. So let's say outside of Canada, I mean, most of the universities or the programs, they are not accredited from CEAB. So in this case, we call it, or they call it, non-CEAB, okay? And this is most of the international engineers. So we'll be having like a discussion now about that path specifically. So in this slide, we're gonna discuss what should be the roadmap for the non-Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board. Most of the provinces, they have, actually all the provinces, they have like almost the same requirements, but there are some different conditions between all of them. Most of the applicants I have so far, they are for applying for Ontario, Professional Engineer of Ontario. So I'm going to talk about that process. And if there is any question also regarding any other province, so we can also cover it, no problem. So for the process itself for applying for the P.Eng, for the process itself, we have the academic assessment. This is the main step. And we have also the experience assessment based on the new system. By the way, is there anyone here on the old system applied for P.Eng before May 15, 2023? Ala, go ahead.
Yes, I did apply more than a year ago. And I have a question about it, but after you finish.
You applied before May 2023?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sounds good. So that was the process that have been published, or let's say announced by PO on the website. But there is a little bit change that happened in the new system. So this is the legacy system, let's say we call it. So we have here the academic assessment after you start to apply your application, and then whether based on the evaluation, you might be exempt from the exams, or you might be required to sit for an interview or to sit for technical exams. So based on the academic assessment, after that, you will need to pass the NPP exam and then submit your experience. And then at the end, you'll get your license. In the new system, the experience requirement step is now with this first step. So you need to complete the exams, technical exams, plus the experience as well. And then you will be eligible to sit for the NPP exam. Okay. So this is like both processes for the legacy system and the new system as well. So the other two questions here, which are like important questions as well. How much it might cost and how long it might take for the whole process. So when we talk about the cost for that process, like let's say the application itself, about maybe $450 or something, plus the exams, if you are required to sit for 4 exams, for example. So each exam, or let's say for the whole 4 exams, it will take about $1,300, because first exam, the registration for the first exam is $700, and each other exam will be $200. So we are talking in total about $1,300 for the exam registration, plus the 450. So it's about $1,750, plus the NPP exam, about another $200, and the final payment for the application itself after approval, about $300. So we're talking about in total about maybe 2,100 or something like that. That's for the cost you might expect. For how long? This is the second question. So you're not going to pay that amount at once or in advance. No, you are going to pay that amount based on your progress. So let's say for the application itself, if you are in the legacy system, so you're going to pay in advance that amount, 450. But if you are applying based on the new system, so that will be paid after the exam. So you're going to pay, let's say, for the exams. It depends also on the exams. You might sit for the exams, let's say, 2 exams in each setting. So 2 exams, let's say, in the fall, and another 2 exams in the spring, for example. So I'm not going to pay all of them at once. Depends on your availability. Some people, they want to finish all the exams like in one shot, so it's okay. After that, you're gonna wait for some time for evaluation and getting the eligibility to sit for the NP exam. And after that, you're gonna wait for some time for the final evaluation. So the whole time could be, let's say, a year and a half, let's say on average, plus or minus. It depends also, as I mentioned, on your progress of with the application steps. So first of all, for the application submission, in the old, so let's say the new system, they now, Professional Engineer Ontario, they request to submit the WES evaluation course by course. Like you have to contact or to create an account with WES and apply the course, but submit your certificate and transcripts and hours, and WES will be evaluating your academic documents. And after that, they are gonna, you have to request WES to forward that evaluation to Professional Engineer Ontario. Another thing that you need to make sure also when you start your account, you need to make sure that your program or the bachelor degree program is already in the database of Professional Engineer of Ontario. So this is also another thing that because I have some applicants, they couldn't find their programs in the database. So they have to wait for another third party to accept and PO also to accept that their program is accepted to be added to the database. That process might take some time, maybe between 2 weeks up to maybe 4 months. So it depends. So this is the first step that you need to do before you do anything in your application. I think after that, of course, you need to have at least 48 months of experience before you start your application. And well, these are the conditions so far. Like also there are some like another conditions, but that goes without saying. Like you need to have more than 18 years of 18 years only, like 18 years old, and you need to have your bachelor degree also in that discipline to start your application in the PhD. By the way, in the legacy system, the WES evaluation was not required. So it's just a new thing started with the new system. So for the academic assessment, based on the legacy system, there was 2 options. There were 2 options. The first one is the interview, and the second one is the technical exams. So in the new system, now they removed the interview step. There is no interviews. You will need only to sit for the exams. Another thing happened to the academic assessment step. In the legacy system, there was an option which is called good performance policy. So that good performance policy now has been removed. So what does that mean? The good performance policy is to sit for, let's say, 2 exams, and then you get a score of 65%. But that the condition that you sat for these exams in 2 sittings or 2 semesters, let's say, and you have no marks less than 60. If you got that score, so you will be waived from the second 2 exams. So we're going to sit for only 2 exams, but in the new system, you have to sit for 4 exams. So this is the academic assessment step in Ontario, and also in other provinces. I want to mention, like, it depends also on the province. Like they have their own evaluation criteria in order to evaluate your experience and your documents as well. Some of them they consider also the WES evaluation, and some of them they have their own system to evaluate. For the professional, the NPP exam, the National Professional Practice Examination. So this is the ethics and law exam. In this exam, it's different from the technical exams. Technical exams are problem-solving questions, but the NPP exam is a multiple choice questions. You have to answer in 2 hours and a half about 110 questions. The topics, as you see here, we have professionalism, the ethics, professional practice, law for professional practice, professional law, and regulation of members and discipline processes. So the exam comes, I think, 4 or 5 times a year. So you can apply in any time whenever you have your eligibility letter to sit for the exam. Another important thing, which is the experience writings. You need to show that you have experience to get your professional engineering license. The old format, it was called experience records, and it had about 5 competencies. You need to write your experience based on these. But now, in the new system, there is a new system which is called CBA, or stands for Competency-Based Assessment. So we have now about 34 competencies in 7 categories. First one is the technical competence, communication. We have project and financial management, team effectiveness, professional accountability, and we have also social, economic, environmental, and sustainability. And the last one is personal continuing professional development. So you have to fill out all these forms. And like if any one of you guys, like in this step now, you have to make sure that you are writing your experience based on the requirements. So the thing, for example, when you write your experience, you cannot say we designed, we supervised. You cannot do that. You have to mention that I designed, I supervised. All these, you have to use the word I for everything. So this is very important, and the verb after I should be also in the past tense. You cannot mention that I will do, or even in present. This is also something important. And when you are writing, you have to answer 3 questions for any experience. So we need to show, like, for example, if you have any issue and you want to solve that engineering issue. So first question, you used a methodology, for example, to solve that question. So the first question here, why did you use that methodology? The second question, the first question is, what is the methodology that you used? The second one is, why did you use that methodology? And the last one, how did you use it? What are the steps that you used to solve that problem? So you have to keep this in mind while you are writing in order to have the logic of your writing as well. So at the end here, we have when you submit all the requirements, all the documents, you're going to have some time for the review. You might receive some comments on the experience or something, so you have to apply them or disposition them. And then at the end, you will finally get your congratulation letter, certificate, stamp, and you'll be eligible also to attend the ceremony, which is a very honorable ceremony to attend. And you can also apply for the Iron Ring maybe when you get your letter. And another thing, I think you can get it also in the ceremony as well. Before that, for the legacy system, if you got your EIT engineering training, also you can apply for the iron ring if you are on the legacy system. The new system now, they removed the EIT designation. So let's move on to another topic, which is like the job search. Based on my experience, like when I came here to Canada in 2016, I was looking for a job like normally, like as far as I know, like I applied for Indeed, for many different websites to fill out many applications for many different opportunities. I stayed that maybe more than 11 months without any response from anyone, any company, nothing. Seemed like I am applying for myself. So I found that this is like even it's not working and it's not efficient. So I tried another way to have my LinkedIn profile. So I started to develop my LinkedIn profile. I changed the photo and also started to follow many companies to do many connections. And it worked with me somehow. And I had about maybe 2 or 3 interviews. But the thing, because I was new and didn't have anyone to guide me, so I had to, well, the evaluation in the interview was that I am overqualified, let's say. So actually, I know it was, for me, it was disappointing. So I knew Span at that time, and they advised me to go for programs to study or something. So I went for George Brown College to study BIM technology, which is something which I'm really interested in. So I had that program, and also I started my professional engineering license process. And after 2 years, I know it was a long time, but since I didn't have any guidance, so that's why it took longer time, maybe more than 2 years, to get my first job. In 1 week, I got 2 offers from 2 companies, sorry. So I started working with Ariston in 2019, early 2019, or sorry, late maybe 2018 or something. So that was like for me a very good step. And I wanted to show here some, some tips about looking for a job. So as I mentioned, like you need to have a Canadian reference. Canadian reference, that means could be a person, could be a program, could be a certificate, whatever it is, like it has to be Canadian. So based on that, you can apply maybe with maybe other like some newcomer centers. They give co-op positions, for example. That was also helpful. And even for the programs in the colleges, they gave some programs with co-op. So that's also helpful. You have to build your network. Like when you came here to this event or attend this presentation, also you are building your network. This is very important to be here and there in order to find a job, to meet more people, to explore your ideas, to have more discussions. It's a really full-time job. You have to knock all doors, as I mentioned, like it's very important to attend all the events available everywhere here and there, like Toronto, whatever the city, I mean. And also another thing, when you look for a job, try to be humble. So most of you guys maybe worked in your back home countries or in the Arabian Gulf area or whatever it is. You had very good positions, maybe directors, or you handle many mega projects or something. But when you come here in Canada, the story is different. They don't know you. So you have to start from very beginning positions. just to put your foot in, and then try to move on step by step to merge in the market. Another thing that you don't need to think about even, don't give up at all. You have to continue looking for a job as much as you can. Spend more time for that. Again, don't put yourself in the overqualified frame. So when I was in that position, so I removed my master degree, I removed my PMP certificate, all the certificates. The only thing I couldn't hide, like the experience, the years of experience I have. So I try to discuss this, like to mention that this is something valuable and all this stuff. Another thing which is very important is the Canadian experience. This, I can call it disappointing praise for anyone who just came to Canada, let's say. They don't have obviously Canadian experience. So when you go to any company, they're gonna tell you like you don't have any Canadian experience, so sorry, we cannot hire you. So there is something very important here. When that phrase is mentioned to you, so you need to think about it. Is it valid or not? So my answer here is it depends on the position. So some positions, let me give you two examples. The first one, let's say you're applying as a draftsman, for example, or you're applying for Revit modeler, or you're applying for scheduler. So the tools you use, like the software programs you are using, whether it's Revit, AutoCAD, Primavera, whatever it is, Microsoft Project, these are some tools and they are used worldwide, not only in some specific countries. So, and Canada is part of the world, it's not out of the planet. So when you're applying for a job like these positions and they tell you that you don't have Canadian experience, no, there is a question mark here. What do you mean? Like, this is very important to be discussed with the recruiters or whoever be interviewing you. It's something called project experience. And you don't have the project experience, of course, you don't have the project experience because you didn't join the project. That will take some time. Yes, it will take some time from anyone, even the project manager himself or herself. Okay. This is something very important to think about it. Another positions or other positions that needs, of course, Canadian experience, for example, cost estimation, for example. You might know how to do the cost estimate, but you don't have any idea about the prices here in Canada. You don't have any idea about the production rates. You don't have any idea how to calculate, for example, the quantity for wood, for example, because maybe most of the Arabian Gulf countries, for example, like UAE or Saudi Arabia, they don't have wooden houses or something. So this could be also a Canadian experience you need to have. So before applying for that position, you need to have some information ready and explore these stuff first, and then apply for positions. Even you might have some courses, apply for some online courses, even for any colleges, and you can get some information before sitting for an interview. So these are my advice regarding joining the Canadian market. And at the end here, this is my official page for Facebook. I started this page, I think, end of 2022, and I have more than 23 engineering following me for the professional engineering license. You can also scan this barcode if you want to join us to have more details about the professional engineering license and more updates as well. So now the floor is yours. If you have any question, please let me know. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi everyone, I hope you had a nice day. My question to you is that I applied last January last year and so prior to May 15th, and I got the letter for I need to take the exams, as you said. I need to take 4 exams. So currently, I don't know, like, because I can choose which 4 exams like I need to take from a group. So is there a certain exams that are like maybe different from others? Do you recommend certain exams? That's my first question.
Okay, answering your first question, the letter you received was on the CEP or SEP program, you know?
I have it here.
Or you maybe in the letter, because not to take long time here, we have
Yes.
CEP is called Confirmatory Examination Program.
Yes, that one.
Okay, that one. Okay, perfect. Can I know your discipline?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Okay. So last month we had a detailed presentation in that regard. So if you want, just text me or send me an email here, and I can send you a link for that presentation. It will answer all your questions in that regard.
Okay.
Okay.
I can type my email here, and is that okay?
Okay. Type it in the chat. Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. This is the first question. Second question you have?
The second question, yeah, regarding the job search. I've been in Canada, like today marks my 2 years.
Okay.
So I still can't find a job in my major.
Okay.
And like most of my jobs are like survival jobs, just to keep going, not stay at home.
Where do you live?
And St. Catharines in Niagara region.
Okay. Okay.
So you said that about LinkedIn profiles, and I started this journey since like 2 months now. I made a LinkedIn profile, did a nice picture, did my resume, applied a lot of jobs. As you said, no interviews at all.
Okay.
And I just want to know, what should I do? Like, I feel I'm not doing enough, but I'm doing a lot of things, but because I'm not getting any interviews, I think that there's something I need to do that I'm not doing because I don't know what to do.
Okay. To answer your question, Ala, I think I'll have to look at your resume to know how do you look for a job. This is something very important. And also to look at your LinkedIn profile. And based on that, I try to give you an advice for the job search stuff.
Okay. So you think that the problem is with my LinkedIn profile?
I don't know. I have to look at everything to let you know where is the problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. My last question,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I've been here a long time and without any job, I thought I would take a certificate in some specialty, and I looked through the colleges and universities around the GTA and Ontario, and I saw there's multiple programs concerning civil engineers in George Brown, and there's one in Seneca, and there's Centennial. If I can have your advice to what to take, like I've seen something called building modeling in George Brown, and construction management also in George Brown and in Seneca.
Okay.
And I don't have a specific, like I don't have a specific or like a program that I like. I think that I'm not sure what do I like, so I don't know what to choose.
So there is also another video presentation that I did before. I can share you the link for that video that have some discussions for many programs in Ontario. That I think that will be helpful for you to have your decision, and we can talk about that as well.
Okay, Thank you so much. Can you send it to me with
Each question has a presentation, so don't worry.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for your
No
time,
problem.
and
No problem.
sorry for taking that long.
It's okay. Lulwa, I think you have something.
Yeah, thank you, Hazem. Thank you,
No problem.
everybody. I just wanted to touch on an important point, which is connections on LinkedIn. It's not only important that you have your LinkedIn profile presentable and complete, it's also to have many connections on LinkedIn. So part of the idea about SPAN is that we all connect to each other. The more we connect to each other on LinkedIn, the more we are visible to employers and recruiters, and the more we are able to refer each other. So I find that our members are not doing as much as they can be doing, and reaching out to other SPAN members and adding them on LinkedIn. So I would highly recommend adding each other on LinkedIn because that gives you more visibility. And also, when we're planning on our website to add more resources, there are also organizations that help engineers such as TRIAC and PIKE. These are specifically for engineers, and they offer co-op placements. So those are also programs that are useful to access. I don't know, Hazem, if you've dealt with TRIAC or PI.
Yeah, I remember on track actually.
Yeah, like I know a couple of people who benefited and got jobs out of that, and I know some people who did not. But it's also very important to know or to understand that each person is different. You
Yes.
can't say that didn't work for so and so, it's not going to work for me.
Yes.
It works for some people, it doesn't work for other people. So you have to try everything at the same time. واحدة منهم حتظبط إن شاء الله. Something is going to work. But you can't say because so and so didn't work with him, I'm not going to do it. You have to it's a case by case success story.
Yeah.
Let's say.
That's true. Perfect.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Lulwa. Yeah, that's true. Like having more networks as much as you can, be here and there. It's a full-time job actually to find something. So yeah, that's true. Sar, go ahead.
Hi, thank you again for the presentation. So to be honest, my dad sent me this link to the webinar because I just graduated last year from engineering. I didn't know it was for like international and everything, but all of the information was still helpful and mostly applicable. But my question is, you've been mentioning that like you do a lot of webinars and presentations and stuff. How can I access, or not access them, but how can I know about future ones? Is it on like the Facebook that you post?
If you're asking about SPAN, so I think when you follow the SPAN social media, I think you will know more about their events. And for the P.Eng stuff, you can here scan this barcode, and you are gonna get the Facebook page to have more information about the P.Eng.
So can you tell me just a little bit about SPAN?
Lulwa, I think you are the best one to answer this question.
Hi, Hazem. So again, one of the things that we have to start learning and doing in our webinars when we ask the question, let's try and introduce ourselves so we know more about each other. So my name is Lulua Al-Kasawat. I'm an architect. I've been in Canada for 20 years now. When I came, I also went through this whole dilemma. Nobody to help me. 20 years ago, it was very bad. So I'm not going to tell you how bad it was. But there was nobody to help, nobody to show you the way like there is now. There was no network as strong as this one. There were no organizations that help either. except for Costi and Access, and they were useless back then. Anyway, and again, I faced the dilemma of I'm not an architect. I have to work as a technologist or a designer. So I put all my effort into becoming a licensed architect. And it took a while, but I did it. I made it. So nothing comes easy, just to let you know. I was working, I had 2 kids, I was doing a master's degree, and I was getting my license at the same time. So nothing is easy. So you have to keep trying over and over and be persistent. So this is where I got this idea to create SPAN. Whoever comes from abroad, I would help them. It started off, I'm Syrian, so it started off as helping Syrians, you know, when they come in, because I know Syrian university, I know the paperwork. So I know how what the universities teach, so I can give, you know, recommendations on how to develop their skills. But slowly, more people started asking for help. So I opened up my group to a larger based group, and now it's open to everybody. So only a few months ago, we were able to finally register it as a non-for-profit organization, and now we are working on, you know, getting more systematic courses, more systematic resources in place, so that we can develop more skills for our group. And that's how we started.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself.
Go
I'll do
ahead.
it backwards. So I'll do it now.
It's okay.
I'm Sahar Badr, and I've been here for like 11 years. I was like grade 8, and I just graduated in
You mentioned your father told
June.
you about
Yeah.
this. Who's your father?
I graduated last year and from civil engineering. So I'm currently a structural designer, and my father is electrical engineer, and I'm sure he went through this whole dilemma, and maybe you were
who is he? I'm curious. Who is he?
Maher Badr.
Maher Badr. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he sent me this because he knows that I'm aiming to get my PhD in the future, and I thought it would be helpful, and it was.
Nice.
So, and I wanted to know more about SPAN, and yeah, thank you for telling me about it.
Great. You could find more information on our website. I hope everybody that's on the discussion today is registered on our website. And you can ask us more questions there. And if you're not part of the WhatsApp group, you can also join us on WhatsApp.
Any information on how to join that?
All on the website.
Okay, thank you.
Ikhlas, I think you have a question.
Hello, thank you for that presentation. I'm Ikhlas, transportation engineer. I'm newcomer to Canada since 2 years. I didn't make anything, just send my certificate to WES, and they recommended that I have a baccalaureate degree in transportation engineer. So I don't know the second step. All of university must make the technical exam for technical exam, or credits university mustn't make that exams. That's my question.
There are some programs who are accredited by CEAB, Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board. So in this case, you don't need to sit for technical exams. But on the other hand, if you are non-CEAB, so you have to sit for technical exams.
How can I know if my university CEAP?
When you start the application with PO, so you will find, you have to search for your program. When you find your program and you click it, you will see in the academic section, there is a section called academic information. You look at it and it will show the word CEAB. Under this word, it will show yes or no. So if it's yes, so it's accredited. If it's no, so it's not accredited.
Okay.
I'll send,
And
if you want, you can text me. I can send you the link, and you start from there.
yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ahmed, we have 5 minutes, guys.
Hey guys,
Yeah, go
can you
ahead.
guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Hi, my name is Ahmed Al-Baiti. I have been in Canada 4 years. I am a current electrical designer. So I have a question. So I applied for the P.Eng before May 2023.
Mhm.
So when I applied back in 2019. So I had some networking experience back then, but I didn't include it in my P.Eng application when I first submitted in 2019. And now I'm planning to include that in my experience to make it 4 years. Would that be something I can do? Or because I told them I don't have any valuable experience, now I can't include that experience, the networking experience?
Like, what's your step now in the application itself?
I'm just my experience. I'm gonna be like if I get my networking experience counted, I will be eligible in November
Eligible for what?
for the P.Eng because I finished everything. I finished the technical exams
And
and
the NPP exam?
yeah, I done it 2000
Okay,
from
you are now
2020.
in the final step, like the
Yes.
first step. Okay, so yeah, you can show the previous experience or the current experience you have. You can add it to your file. This has happened to me as well. Like during my like current job, I had some work, and I just mentioned that this experience will be added to the previous one that I have already submitted. So yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but I didn't when I applied 2019, my experience in networking was 2018. That's why I didn't include it in my application. So the question is, since I wasn't mentioned it before, I'm worried now if I mention it, they might tell me, why didn't you mention it before?
No, it's okay. It's a matter.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
And networking it count through towards the P.Eng, right? The networking.
Like, is it including like the design of the network and stuff, or just like
No,
related to
fix
troubleshooting and
troubleshooting. It was mostly troubleshooting.
troubleshooting? It counts somehow, like not for the main technical stuff, but
Not the main one.
yeah, but it counts. Of course, it counts, but it's not the main one.
It's not the main. The main one. It's gonna be electrical designer.
Yeah,
1 year under a P.Eng.
yeah, that works. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
no problem.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. I have a question here from EGBC for engineer of British Columbia. So the question is asking about the international experience. Is it counted to be equivalent to Canadian experience? The answer of this question is announced, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago or something. Now EGBC accepts the international experience that it's that's equivalent to the Canadian one. So if you are doing like a design using, let's say, a code of American code or whatever it is, so and this design is equivalent, or this using of this code is equivalent to the Canadian code, so that's accepted. So it's a good step. Like that step was for Ontario last year, and this year we have also AGBC. So yeah, this answer to your question, someone called iPhone 7. We have another question here. It's a long one. I have to read. For those who seek for Indian license, sorry, iPhone 7, can you mention what's your question? I think you wrote something from the website. I'm not sure what's the question exactly.
Yeah, hello, Hazim.
Hi, can you introduce
Yeah, this is iPhone 7. Yeah, it's Hatim.
Hatem.
Introduce yourself, Hatem.
Yeah, I'm Hatim from Vancouver. I think you spoke before, Hazim.
Full name, Hazim. Hatim.
Hatim Muhammad, yeah.
Your discipline? Your discipline?
Engineering is long experience, almost getting the professional engineer from AGBC. The second part is not a question, it's just for information for everybody who is seeking professional engineer in BC.
Okay.
These are the 4 requirements. And the exam, the last one is the multiple choice exam in ethics and laws, plus the essay. The essay was there until I believe 2021 or 2022, and they waive it or they cancel it. Now they have only the multiple choice exam. And this is, I don't know, it's called your MBB. And plus the first one is assessment of academic qualification. Normally they assess the bachelor degree first, and they don't care about the master. But if you have a master degree, they will consider it in waiving the technical exam required. Sometimes they ask you to do like 5 or 4 technical exam. Of course, the academic assessment plus the competency requirements, 34 competencies, as you mentioned in the beginning. Mostly they satisfy the 26 competencies from the working abroad outside Canada. But for the 8 competency remaining, I mentioned in the email, really they still insist to work in a Canadian environment to satisfy this 8 one: the technical competence, communication, professional accountability, social, economic, environmental, and sustainability. I still insist on this, although there is some rule from the basic government here, and they relax this requirement for international, for better recognition of international experience and qualification, and was effective from the 1st of July. This is part of what you call ECRA, if you heard about ECRA, International Credential Recognition Act. Now it's being waived by the BC government. This is good news for people who are also coming from abroad. It started from the 1st of July. The last requirement, of course, the seminar, 2-year seminar. One of them, I believe, is called professional seminar. This is free of charge, about 10 hours of attendance. And also another one called Work in Canada seminar as well. That is a long seminar. It takes about 1 week per time. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ala. Thank you so much. Guys, I think like we have just 1 minute because I have to leave. So, Ala, I see you have raised your hand.
Yes, just a quick question. Is it in my interest to apply or seek a certificate called OACETT for the engineering technologist?
Yes. What's the question here? Sorry.
He wants to
Is it
join
in
the
my-
OSAT, which is
you
a
want to join the OSAT?
technologist.
Is it in my interest to seek it or no?
No, I don't think so. You're an engineer, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like,
That's
I
a
know-
technologist position.
I know it's like some engineers, they apply for the OSAT as well, but I think like maybe it's better for you to go for the engineering career, and definitely you're gonna find something, but you have to know how to find that opportunity. Okay.
So Hazim
Okay.
has to leave, but any questions you have, you can you email us on info@span-ea.ca or message Hazim. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
And one just and you can also reach out to me. I can also have some tips for you offline. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
so
you.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, engineers.
Thank you.